initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining your flame?
Peace to the tribe. Welcome. It's the initiatives for the flame. And here we are back with another moon day. It's the Moonday Mystic. So, chat, what's the word? Y'all tell me what's up. How we doing today?
Shoot. Good evening, everybody. Another Monday. We got a new moon this week, which we'll be getting to in this conversation. Moondaymystic.com is where you can get Moonday, a practical approach to astrology. I am Breeze, 1/4 for the initiates. I'm an alchemist, and the chief purpose of an alchemist is self-actualization and to cultivate one's focus in order to have so much awareness of your existence that you feel very comfortable in the purpose of your existence. But that's my spiel.
Shay, much love to Big Dog, my bro. And of course, guys, make sure you guys really get checking out the Flame On shop. And we got a lot of new things up in the bay. You can check our links below. Also, shout out to the Patreon. We also got the Patreon going. So for all of our members of the mastermind, for people who want to join our tiers that we got going, and we're going to introduce our new tier later on throughout the show for those people who are ready and interested. But yeah, man, on Hood, bro, what's the word, man? What you got brewing and cooking, man? What's up with the white rabbit? Man, I'm looking for that rabbit hood.
Oh man, same old shit. Just chilling, man. Just growing, sending out orders and things of that nature, man. Still got 25% off for the next couple of hours, so tap into that. But yeah, man, just working, writing, learning, growing, things of that nature.
Ashe. Yeah, we always gotta make time for growing. And just speaking of growing and change, of course, let's get into our celestial phase. And to just off the chart, off the dome, off the muscle, when we're just speaking about growing change, that's what this energy is speaking to me with this Uranus conjunct Moon. When you gentlemen see a Uranus conjunct Moon, what's just come across your mind? What's just the energy that's present, and what people should prepare for?
Hello.
Yeah.
Harry.
Okay. What did you say?
I said with this Moon conjunct Uranus, how y'all think about it, what y'all feel, how should people prepare for it, and this period, man. Me and personally, I saw this aspect today, and I was just studying it, and I just been looking at Uranus for a little minute. It's just going to be in Taurus for a little minute, for a hot minute, honestly. So I feel like we should tell and let everybody know how to prepare for that. It's just, especially with the moon right there next to it right now.
So the moon is in Taurus, the Hierophant, in the Six of Pentacles. I would say that it's a good time to really channel what's in your DNA. Being that Taurus represents your ancestors and your vessel, your DNA. I think it's a really good time to work with what you got. You know what I mean? I.e. your vessel, whether it's it's working out, drinking some type of tea for digestion, just doing some things to take care of your vessel, because your vessel is the temple that houses god. So that's how I look at it. And then with Uranus, it just kind of amplifies it um, in a generational way.
Mm.
Yeah, I would say Uranus conjunct the moon with a minor T square to Saturn, not a minor T square, but a minor grand trine to Saturn, Neptune, Pluto. For one, is like working through that waning moon. So I would say like any like negative financial habits that you want to be kind of like mindful of to kind of nip in the butt, but also like adapting new financial strategies, literacy, like breaking out any type of funk that you have towards like growing and developing, getting your mind back on your money back on your mind type of shit. It's really that time because this waning moon is like the last aspect to this particular moon is going to be the new moon is Wednesday, which is going to be exact conjunct Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? So that within itself, the implications and just working with Jupiter, setting your intentions financially, how you want to approach this next year or so is very important. Because if you don't have a financial strategy, don't be hoping and wishing for money to come falling out the sky. But it could be like with the waning moon, it kind of feel a little scary, a little daunting because it's square in Mars. Like you want to do what you want to do, but you can't do it. But it's cool. Still map out that plan and wait until the new moon. When this moon get into a more favorable aspect with Mars, it's going to be trine Mars. So you're not held back. You're not blocked. You just got to be a little bit patient as this stuff kind of simmers into the pot where the flavor get ready to eat.
No, real talk, and that was fire hood. And for those people who really want to step into that change, want those quick things to happen now, you can always do that. With your mindset, that's where it starts first. So, like, with this, if you want this drastic change to happen in your life, start with your thoughts, start with your habits. Because the opportunity for money to grow is really here, especially just with Uranus here. I encountered so many people who have told me they got a new house, they have, got a new job, they got fired, they got promotions, all types of stuff, just Uranus and Taurus. So just with the moon here, you might feel those things might be happening soon, but it's just all giving yourself this deep breath and a lot of grounding at this moment because all the cars in this house is literally like dealing with, stability, dealing with your money, dealing with your mindset. So, for the people who might feel like they're dealing with that seven of disc a lot of failure, because I've encountered that card so much in like 2022, 2023. I was like, bro, I don't know what this means, but like, it's, it's great to fail because you get opportunities to learn. And every mistake is really not a loss. So I just like this transit because I just been eating off it today. You know what I'm saying? I really just been focused on my bread. I just really just building the investments and just really drinking the tea. I drank so much rosemary tea today. I have been feeling so good. I remember so much. Like, bruh, I'll be sitting, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this just because all of some tea, bro. Like, so, and I even smelled the rosemary, had all in my nose. I was having a good time. I was really enjoying the herbs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's probably because I helped my digestion. Like I just saw that's where the moon was in Taurus. Just focus on that digestion. I feel like people don't care about their digestion. And I really took some black maca today. Shout out to the Flame On shop. And I make sure I always eat that in with the tongue elite, and that really helps with my digestion. So I just wanted to share that because we always got to talk about working with your herbs. That's one thing that really makes the moon really and powerful on your side.
Okay.
Yeah, I would also add to it what both of y'all said, that trine with Pluto, um, it really speaks to making a change today that will blossom like in the next, probably in the next 10 years. You know, I remember hearing about a book like Atomic Habits,
Yeah.
or just like Chaos Magic, and like how, you can make one change and it can um, change the trajectory of your life. You know what I mean? It could be something that's in alignment, something that's not in alignment. Um, but the choice is ultimately yours. But that Pluto, I feel like from an astrologer standpoint, Pluto is gonna tell you what kind of life you're gonna have once you get, I'll say, like past like 50, because it's so generational. So just about, I don't think, I don't know, because all of us on this panel is like 8 years difference. So we might have different Plutos, but because my Pluto is in I think mine is in Libra,
Hmm.
in the second house, or no, it's in Scorpio in the second house. Um, Finances and things like that. I always was a person that, as a kid, saved my money. I had a bank account when I was like 15 that I was putting my own money into. And it was just something I never really worried about. I was never rich, but I always had the funds to do what I needed to do, and even what I desired to do.
That's some Plutarch shit right there for real. Like the essence of it, like, I didn't, I always had it. That's some investment saving type shit. Plutarch, 8,000.
Yeah.
But with all that saying, right, Bree? So, with the energy, how does it like really speak with the moon, right? Because we always go over this information for people to realize, like, of course, it's always fun and nice to talk about astrology, but everyone has their own chart and their own makeup and their own layout. So at the end of the day, you have to go through that information and jot, take note, really look ahead, look at the past too, to learn from things that you did right or wrong, so you can or correct it and move with your spirit. Because anything that we always say is that to speak to your soul, talk through symbols. So it's like we just gotta remember that. And shout out to
You going out, AP?
no, that was me, my fault. And shout out to Astrology Explained, because that's one way to really learn just how to connect to your soul with symbols. So really go like with the energy, how is it breaking down the moon chart? Just starting with like Moonday, of course.
Yeah. So could you make it a little bit, like zoom in a little bit? Yeah, that's perfect. So this is the moon tracker chart. So for Monday, that's today, Taurus. The moon is in the second decan of Taurus, which is the Six of Pentacles. Tomorrow it'll be in the third decan of Taurus, and then Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be in Gemini, and then the new moon is in Gemini, and that new moon will be conjunct Jupiter. And we all know a new moon is a sun and moon conjunction, as a full moon is a sun and moon opposition. So, I mean, this is something we went over for the past, 4 weeks or so. It's literally taking the chart, transposing it into bite-sized pieces, day by day. So the tarot meanings and the key words are based off of the tarot cards in the right column, the furthest column to the right. This column corresponds to the constellations of the week. So Taurus is Pentacles, Gemini is Swords, Cancer is Cups, Leo is Wands. So I took all the tarot cards that's on the right column, like I said, and written out the meanings as it relates to the Thoth Tarot deck. So we have success, failure, cruelty, ruin, love, luxury, and strife or conflict. So this is kind of like the keywords. This is kind of like the piece of your cycle, because 7 days isn't a complete cycle of the moon. 28 days is a cycle. This is just literally a quarter of the cycle, just an FYI. But so I kind of lined it up. I did something different this time around. So Taurus corresponds to the Hierophant. Can you turn music down just a little bit? Maybe want to feel like I'm Lil Wayne on Drop 3. So I did something different. The Taurus is the Hierophant, and if anybody has their tarot cards, you're watching this, take your tarot cards out. It'll make a lot more sense than me just talking. So Taurus is the Hierophant. The Lover's card is Gemini. The Chariot is Cancer. Leo is Strength. And I lined it up so that you have Hierophant with its meaning, and then the tarot cards meaning. So this is the major arcana meaning, and then this is on the furthest column, the blue words, is the tarot card minor arcana meaning. So Hierophants, your biology, Lovers, opposition, Chariot, soul, Strength, Kundalini. And what I feel this new moon is speaking to, and this whole week, I think is kind of like a portal, because you have your biology, which is your vessel, your body, your DNA, the manuscript, and then the Chariot is your soul, which is the author of that manuscript, God, or the primordial essence of existence. And the Lover's card is where you tie them together. It's kind of like a opposition where you have like the ego, the body, the sense consciousness, versus the soul. So from a humanity perspective or a biology perspective, there's things that you want that's not always good for you, and I think that's expressed in those three deacons of Taurus. The first deacon would be worry, success, and failure, whereas in the Chariot, it's abundance, love, and luxury. So it's kind of like that's what you get when you're dealing with your soul: abundance, love, and luxury. Whereas when you're dealing with just your body apart from God, is you're in the ramifications of worrying, finding some success, and then failing. And then the Lover's card is what pulls them together. And it's usually a war, you know what I mean? Like the war with heaven and hell, that's kind of like an internal battle. Whereas you working to elevate your consciousness, and to reconcile the differences, with what the ego wants and what the soul wants. And I think this new moon is speaking to the need to have that merger, to have that marriage. Because when you look at the Lover's card, it is a generational marriage that's happening, on multiple different levels of existence. And we'll look at the card, in a second, but I think this new moon is about reconciling that separation, or the illusion of separation between your vessel and the soul that's in your vessel, because it's all one. And then like at the bottom wrote a little bit. So this new moon is about accepting the divine help we have at our disposal. The approach here is going directly at the aspects of oneself that needs refinement. Also suppress parts of who we are. These suppressed parts can stifle our spiritual growth. And I think part of that work with the opposition, that is, the Lover's card, because it's opposed Sagittarius, which is alchemy. So it's going to take some turning lemon into lemonade, you know what I mean, or turning shit into a garden. You have to begin to accept those parts of yourself. You have to begin to put your attention on those parts of yourself, because the way that suppressed emotions and feelings work with the shadow is, if you suppress them and hide them and push them away, they're gonna find a way to express themselves. If you don't get nothing out of this video, I want you to remember that every emotion in us seeks to be expressed. You can put it in a journal. You talk to a therapist. You can play music. You can dance. You can do sports. But you got to find a way. You got to find an outlet for it. Because if you just suppress it and try to think you walking around and nobody knows, you're gonna be looking stupid. And you probably gonna crash out. You probably gonna do something that you regret. Say something to somebody that you wish you could have took it back, all because you got parts of yourself that you're trying to hide or suppress. And the Lover's card represents that, but the Lover's card represents accepting that. Oh yeah, and at the bottom I have the Lover's card. Here is about going from good and evil, going from duality to life, which is one. The soul and vessel together, working together. When this is achieved, it is called Kundalini. So the ultimate block or the opposition between you and activating your Kundalini are those suppressed parts of yourself. So if you just look at the red letters in the middle, you got your vessel. You got the difficulties of having a vessel, all the bullshit that come with it. My dad wasn't this, my mom wasn't that, or I got cheated on, or when I get nervous, my armpit sweat. Like just shit that you just try to find about yourself. Like, damn man, that's fucked up. Just bullshit that you find. Not that you find, it's just bullshit that you put your mind on and just feel like something's wrong with it. That's the opposition. It's you and your mind, and what you put on yourself. All of your limitations are self-imposed. That's the opposition. And then you have your soul, which is the true essence of your being. And it's the negative thoughts that's blocking your way. So once you reconcile that, you can embrace your soul fully. And once you embrace your soul fully, you're able to gain that strength. What is the strength? It's Kundalini.
Right.
And I mean, that's really it for this week. This will be in the Moon channel in the Discord for you to, look at it, peek at it, consult it, put all your questions in there, or you can DM me on Instagram. I love to talk about it with you. Yeah, and this is for you all to become your own personal astrologer and to become your own reference for the science of astrology and to see yourself in astrology.
You muted it.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
Say appreciate that, Breeze.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
when it just comes to like Moonday, right, Breeze? What's one thing you see a person really like striving for when they get this book?
You said striving for what?
Like, what's one thing you see when a person gets this book? What's one thing you see them striving for?
Striving for understanding of self. Because my whole purpose is my whole purpose and intention behind the book is to give people something to make them feel comfortable, uh, comfortable enough to explore their curiosity about astrology. You know, because just Google how do I learn astrology. There's gonna be a lot of stuff. It's gonna be overwhelming. You know what I mean? And it's yeah. And it doesn't have to be that complicated as it may look when you Google how do I learn astrology. Um, and yeah, this is I would say this is for um, the beginner of beginners and to the most advanced folks. You know, because it's so interactive. It's something that you can do on your own. It's something that, you know, it takes 4 weeks for you to have a full moon cycle. You have literally, 28 days of data for yourself that you can consult. Because when the moon is in Leo, it's in my 11th house. Always. You get what I'm saying? So I'm at the point where if I see the moon in any sign, it's like, okay, that's in this house. That means X, Y, Z. You get what I'm saying? Or I can easily remember the deacons because another part of studying astrology is in the tarot cards. Astrology is tarot. Tarot is astrology. You know, all the planets are expressed in tarot. All the constellations are expressed in tarot. All of the deacons are expressed in tarot. That was a long-winded answer, but
You good, fam? I think you answered it and then just
okay.
added more to it because you
Mhm.
did get like a one sentence right off the bat. Really got into it. So I say it was guided. Honestly, it's just with astrology, I just feel people just get really frustrated. And it's something you gotta just put it down, come back to, put it down, come back to, put it down, come back to at a consistent effort, and you will get it. And of course, you know, for those who are new, for those who've been here, if you really just want to have a deep understanding, join our Patreon where you can really work with Breeze personally, and you can really get exclusive stuff with the Patreon easier, a chat group. So check that out. And I fully support it. Just sitting next to Breeze and having him always like really break this down to me over like a yearly basis, something he really worked on. It's really fire. It's like I really ain't got to witness that before. So like witnessing it and like seeing it now and seeing bro work on it, it's just like damn, bro. It's like, you know, pause, just for the hated niggas out there saying I'm glazing, but we don't really put on our people when they actually like trying to do something, they give it to a community. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to
Mhm.
Urban as well. Shout
Mhm.
out to the chef. Bro always chefing and cooking. He always out there for his community. So making recipes. It's just really awesome to see. Like that's the type of shit I be trying to be on. Like find other content creators, just create, collab, make funny shit, make cool shit, teaching shit, inspiring shit. That's the point.
What do y'all think of the new moon being conjunct Jupiter?
You can call on Tyrone. That
Watch you next Friday.
yeah. But nah, to me, I see like, especially because it's going to be in Gemini, I really see it like being a actually like an opportunity, like for those people who really like into the blog, for those people who really trying to build an online community, and like especially to a certain niche or say, you can really like hit that out there. Or to my people who like craftsmen working with your hands, like I feel like it's gonna be the time, like yo, the thing that you've been building, working on is gonna tap for you. You know, material shit, you know, coming from like Gemini. Real magical shit that you can make happen, honestly.
Some interesting correspondences that I've been studying, like just been studying Brihaspati, the guru in Hindu mythology, and like getting into like the textual like mythology of it. And it's like this is that energy that people call on to like become kings. Like as a human, you want information, you want knowledge, but as a human, you got to understand your limits and then who to specifically call on to. So when you reference Jupiter, that's a like, so you have Mars, which is like the archetype of masculinity, and then Venus, the archetype of femininity. Well, Jupiter is the archetype of kingship, royalty, and embodying that on Earth and really just getting into a mode where mentally you are just accepting that idea is powerful because it's actually in a Jupiter ruled deacon. Jupiter rules the first deacon, he rules the Eight of Swords. So it's like it's a very like my kids, I bought a basketball hoop and I've been like dusting their ass like 5-0 every time. And they'd be like, all right, I'm about to lock in. I'm about to lock in. I'd be like, all right, and then dropping their ass, right? So it'll be like, yeah, it's time to really lock in, but make sure you locking in to the right thing. Cause you could be there's no way my kid is about to beat me right now. Shit. It's not about to happen. No matter how much you lock
Right.
happening. So it's like make sure you focused on doing something that's successful and not being like used, you know. That's what a lot of shit show up as in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? So being so focused in your mind on who you becoming, such a powerful shift and a powerful time, but it's a lot of distractions though too. Like the car interference, like
Hmm.
play is interference, but you might prioritize it because your mental health ain't strong. Your emotional intelligence ain't there quite yet.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you got to be more or less locked in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Locked
And
in it.
when you related Jupiter to kingship, it made me think of kind of made me think of Solomon. You know, I've been in the Bible heavy, but it's like stepping into your power. You know what I mean? Like a king sitting on his throne. You know, but I think in that you really figure out who you are because the king know who they are. You know what I mean? Like know who they is. Um, because it's most likely his dad was king, his grandfather was king. You know what I mean? His mama was, the queen at some point. You know what I mean? He knows where he's from and where he's going. I think that's an aspect of Gemini as well. You know what I mean? You really get in touch with why you here, man.
Mm.
Like why the fuck you here?
And even certain aspects like Moses, where you a king, you don't realize it, and you got to go through tests and trials and tribulations, rather, to get to the point where you self realize. And even when you think you self realize, you still got 40 years in the desert to prove
Yeah.
yourself in reference to who you truly are. While Ramses and them, they already had the kingship, but they wasn't really the kings for real because they
Hmm.
wasn't in alignment, so to speak. So it gets into a certain, like I said, you can be locked into a certain aspect, but make sure like you willing to go the long route because this is a new moon in Gemini. So this is just an idea. It's not even real. You know what I'm saying? It's not even
Hmm. Hmm.
materialized. So
Hmm.
how many times you've been talking to your homeboy about some shit and it sound good, and then 2 weeks later, you know what I'm saying? Y'all on to the next shit. Y'all ain't been talking about that shit because it was just an idea.
Right.
It wasn't real.
Right.
But like you said earlier, in aspect of Pluto, something that you can be doing today that's going to translate into the next 10 years, which is like, yeah, buying property. Be like, the prices is too high, but what if they get higher?
Hmm.
What if they never get lower?
Hmm. Or what if an airport want to be built over there and they trying to, you know what
Right.
I mean?
About to
They
cash you out, triple what you
give
done invested.
right, giving you a blank check. Like, look, we just need this.
We need this joint right here. Let it go. It's different things that people can begin to do to like what AD said earlier, investing. Like investing, Uranus is trying Pluto. That's an investment. Like that's what it means. That's when the signs just like invest,
Yeah.
like invest in something.
Yeah.
Like the stars never lie, and they said that this the economy is crashing. That shit's gonna go up too. So what are we talking about? It goes up and down, bro.
As so above, as so below. Niggas forget about that principle, bro, and just be like, yeah, bro, this is gonna happen to us. And be like, so you just gonna forget about the other side? Like, okay, gotcha. That's how I know people don't be watering their grass, bro.
Mm.
Man, that Neptune conjunct Saturn is it's crazy though. Like it ain't letting up, man. Because for me, it's like I better be in alignment with my spiritual practices at this point in life. You know, for me, because my son is in the second decan of Pisces, and is really no wiggle room for me at this point in life. Like I feel like I really like you saying, like it's time to lock in, you know. I really feel like it's time to lock in from a spiritual practice perspective, you know, because the world is only going to get more and more chaotic, you know. Cain killed Abel, and then now we at the point where um, nations is killing each other.
Mhm.
You know, because after Abel was killed, he was like, you know, I'm gonna avenge him sevenfold. After you know he got killed, I'm gonna avenge him 7 times 7. You know, to the point where the mark of Cain has been multiplied to such a high degree that nothing can save you but God, but your spiritual practices. Um, so I'm just you know urging everyone to just go for it, man. It ain't like you doing something wrong or you need a nigga to tell you or some you know some bitch with the earring connected to her ear and shit connected to her
Mhm.
nose and shit to tell
Damn,
you
bro,
something like
Mhm.
you don't need all of that, man. Just go for it. Start meditating, you know, and let your curiosity take you, you know what I mean, where you're supposed to be at, you know, because some people got different gifts at that. You know what I mean? Like I could be telling you one way, but your gift not what my gift is. But most generally, you got to do shadow work. You got to meditate. That's prerequisites to everything.
If you really want to like build that muscle for you to get things done, you gotta like not in the sense of like reward yourself every time you get something done. Like yeah, sure, but what I'm saying is that you really gotta look that discipline in the eye and get good at doing the things that you hate to do, because that's what Saturn wants you to engage in. You might feel like it's torment, but after a while, when you see it's pain, you're gonna be like, man, all I love to do is work. You know, when you actually get a good job and they actually throwing you bread, you just like you try being that much as you can, but you make sure you get your days off. So I'm just saying, it's like when you really get done chewing through that gristle, there's gonna be a lot of reward. But the fruits of your labor are not guaranteed.
think it's a certain level of the 12th house where you either got to be self motivated or working with people that's going to help you develop a level of discipline to implement that thing that everybody is talking about. Because just waking up in the morning and knowing what to do and how to implement it and know how it's going to pan out, that's not an easy thing to manifest by yourself. And it's not easy to do with a whole team of people that went to school for the shit. Because if that was easy, it would just be happening. But when you trying to like put something together, put something on, and then have people show up or have people support it or have people buy it, these things require more than one person. And this is Saturn conjunct Neptune. Whereas if you that nigga or you that boss babe that can just get it done super easy, then more power to you. But it's like Saturn is a social planet, and the way that it disciplines is by you having to like, and it relates to the new moon in Gemini, which represents communication. Like I viewed it as like being a pickup artist, but just developing that mentality, not necessarily like you trying to pick up girls, but you willing to talk to everybody. You willing to build relationships with people and build businesses with people because you understand you can't build a business by yourself, and all your dreams is possible if you can understand conflict resolution, if you can understand like working with people. So the 12th house is a culmination of the 10th and the 11th house, where you have your skill and you also have your ability to unite and socialize with people. And putting both of those things together, it's not like you just dealing with people and using them. You dealing with people and you contributing and they helping you out. Y'all all working towards a mutual benefit. And for people that's isolated or used to work by yourself, this transit going to hit you in the it's going to hit you hard. Back to the new moon, the ways for which the sun is going to transit the nine of swords and the ten of swords. None of this shit is fun and pleasant when you're not doing the right thing. So mentally, you should at least be on the same page. Like, all right, I'm about to meet up and talk to people. I'm about to go to events, or I'm getting out of my shell. Not because it's Taco Tuesday, because I just want to be the best version of myself.
Right. And you know the part on just being able to talk to everybody, you'll be surprised how a long way that goes, because how you treat one person, it passes on, and so on and so on. But what I'm saying is that you'll be surprised how small the world is, man. you know but the thing is, it's like it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I've been learning that a lot as I've just been meeting people and really just been helping people. Because they say a good friend, this is a parable, Chinese parable, African, whoever you want to give it to. But they say a good friend is a person who adds value to your life.
Crazy.
And to Hood's point, shout out Serpent, man. He put together the website for me. All of that shit. Like all of that shit. And I'm very appreciative of that. Because yeah, that y'all probably wouldn't have had a book probably until tomorrow if I didn't have a website and had to figure it out on my own. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to let people help you. Yeah, I mean, nobody does anything on their own. I don't care who it is.
Facts. If you want to get there fast, do it by yourself. If you want to get there, do a whole bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Niches of the Flame. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon. Go ahead, get at us. We got our membership tiers up and running. Of course, the Moonday Mystic tier. We got a Mastermind tier, Initiative tier. Check it out so you can see it. And just for the people, of course, join the Discord. The Discord will always be up and running.
Discord.
Whether you want to continue the conversation, whether you want to share for your astrology, ask for help, ask for questions. We always here. And yeah, man, I just appreciate everybody always joining up, watching, leaving comments, making questions. It helps us out because you guys make the show. So I share to y'all, share to the team. Any parting words, brothers?
Shit, man. Thank you for your time. Moonday Practical Approach for Astrology is now available on moondaymystic.com, also on Flame On Shop. Any questions, reach out to me. Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
Initiates for the flame. You are now programmed to drop dem draws. Have you been maintaining